Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Hope, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like,
what are we talking about, son?
Get into it, talk. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard.
Hey yo, you see it, man. Holding it down till the rest of the squad jumps in. How y'all doing, man? Chat going crazy, man. Got 24 right here rocking with us. Appreciate y'all so much. Our second annual National Signing Day special. Yeah, man. Last year, Joey held it down. I'm saying I got caught up at work, so I had to make sure I was here. Joey will be here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? He's handling some family stuff. Got the 12th ranked class in the country right now. Obviously not where we want to be. I'm pretty sure AO just made up a word. Cranial metaphysio. Fam, you Googled that. You don't know how to spell that for real. Let's keep it a buck. All right, man. How we feeling? You know what I'm saying? Let us know. Got a couple guys that I really wanted. Got Kellen Wiley. You know what I'm saying? I'm really happy about that one. Held on to that one. We were the first team to offer him. He got, you know what I'm saying? He got some notoriety after that. Took a lot of visits. Took his time. Pickett, I see Lakers all day. Lakers all day is asking where you think Pickett is going. It's not looking good for Miami as of right now. It's being reported that it looks like he's still with LSU, but doesn't sign until 2:00, I believe. So a lot of times with that stuff, man, like representatives and family will put it out like it's done, and it's a leverage play, right? Like you want to put it out there because till the ink dries on that paper and it's faxed or docu-signed or whatever. It's not a done deal, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Just hold off on that. Don't overreact. Well, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you do whatever you want. I take it back. You can't overreact. You feel however you want to feel. But right now, man, top 12 class. Obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted it to end. We're going to talk about that. We're going to be here for a while, family. This is not our standard hour show. We will have guests jumping on. We got a guest jumping on here in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Going to chop it up with y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out the website, youheardpodcast.com. I'm saying got some merch for you. AO still made up that word that he's Googling. Michael feels good about the class. I'm saying let me know, man, in the chat. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How you feeling about the chat? You can even put a mid, whatever mid would be. This would be like the hand that you put like flat like that. You know what I'm saying? Because look, we're gonna talk about CFP. We're gonna talk about the class. Gonna talk about the players. But y'all know, man, I had to hit my guy CB up. And make sure we were, you know what I'm saying, he's got the breakdowns ready because that's the dude that does it. I don't front on here and try to act like I'm the recruiting guy. Y'all know how I cook. Give y'all my opinions, give y'all the fan-sided thing. Joey comes on, gives you the big brother perspective. You know what I'm saying, as the dad of a recruit and a commit. So, you know what I'm saying, we all stay in our lanes and know how to play everything. So Stunnerboard case is feeling good despite the other tomfoolery going on. Also a great word. I'm gonna go with. I think you want to say foolery, but I'm gonna go with tomfoolery because I think it just feels straight. My guy, we're in good shape. All right, Doodle in the building. Shout out to Doodle. Ain't seen you in a minute, family. Lakers all day. Don't pick it to stay on LSU has already been confirmed. Yeah. Again, let's. I'm not putting out any hope out there, but I'm saying for right now, till that ink dries, we'll see what's happening. We got our first guest. You know what I'm saying, one of the OGs of this Canes content creating thing. A good friend of mine, man. Me and him went ape shit during the Wake Forest game, screaming way too loud. My guy Cafito. What's going on, John? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, brother. Can't complain at all, man. I escaped briefly from the office to come down and talk a little Canes recruiting. So, no, not bad, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. You know, enjoying this cold weather, bro. I rarely get to wear a hoodie indoors in my house, but I turned off the AC and it's like 65 degrees. My wife absolutely hates me because she's like, we're gonna turn the heat on. I'm like, no, we're not. We're gonna let that ride. So yeah, man, it's nice, bro. It's beautiful. How you feeling, bro? Like halfway through the day. Obviously, National Signing Day ends on Friday. That's the crazy thing, right? It's a three-day event. As of right now, 12/10. How you feeling?
Not too bad. I think we successfully stopped the bleeding because we lost a few guys, but I think it could have been a lot worse.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And, we were able to retain majority of the class, specifically some playmakers on offense that, would have hurt to see any of them go. But we retained, all the important guys that I wanted to keep. It's still, I think we're projected to finish, I don't know. Last I saw, this is an ever-changing thing, but last I saw, we were projected to finish like 12th and 13th or something possibly, which by no means is bad to our standards at what we've been used to with Mario. That's like subpar. But you know what? You got the number 7 class 2 years ago. You got the number 3 class last year, and you got like the 13th class this year. I mean, if you're not winning with that, there's a bigger problem. There's a serious problem with your development. There's a problem with your scheme. You should be able to win with that without too much of a problem. I don't know where SMU's recruiting these days. I don't know where they're ranked.
I'll tell you right now. 31st.
Well, there you go. And they're about to win the ACC. I'm pretty confident they're going to beat Clemson with that offense and that quarterback. It's development and coaching, all that stuff still matters. While, yes, I would love to get the shiny toy. I would love to get as many 5 stars as possible. That makes your job as a coach easier. But at the end of the day, if you can't coach, if you can't develop, you're not going to win either way. So what does it matter?
Yeah. So I looked at the On3 recruiting ranking. Shout out to my guy Zuby. And they're the highest class in the ACC. So we have the number 1 class in the ACC as of right now. Behind the closest class behind us is Clemson at 24, and then behind that is somehow Florida State at 28, which I'm guessing just because of their 5-star recruit, because they have nothing else in that class. So yeah, number 1 class in the ACC once again. Like it's a weird thing, right? Because Mario's kind of spoiled us in that way where we're like, why isn't it top 5? When we're like, this is you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna try to sell it. Like, yeah, there's some guys that hurt, but this class, like, getting Kellen Wiley on the day of, when that was an everything else lean, you know what I mean? Like, it could have gone this way. Kellen Wiley was big to me. That's one guy that I really wanted. There's another linebacker out there that I'm not sure what's happening with that one yet. He signs at 315. But yeah, man, I feel really good about the class. I'm not stressing it. Like, these are guys. Jabari Antoine is a guy that slept on. Bryce Fitzgerald, you know what I'm saying? Chris Ewald, they're solid players in this class. And look, they stuck through. They stuck through it, so I'm gonna rock with them. John, let me ask you, man. I've never been a person who like worries about who we don't get. You know what I mean? Like, I've never like, oh, we could have, like 3 years later, I'm gonna be like, oh, we could have had this guy. Just never how I rock. How do you view it, like the day of, and then you know what I'm saying, while you go through the process? Because we've been following this recruiting thing forever. So how do you view it?
I mean, over the years, out of our backyard, I mean, there's a few names that, I wish could have been Canes.
Right.
Obviously, the Boza brothers, who we never had a shot in hell at, but, they were in our backyard. But, if you were to land one of those guys, somebody of that caliber, that could change your program. But for the most part, we've seen some guys leave the state of Florida. We've seen guys leave South Florida to some of these bigger programs. And I get why. It's because those programs are winning and we weren't. But I've always said this, and I stand by it. They can come in and cherry pick those top guys, but with what's left over, you could still win a lot of football games, and we weren't doing that. And on top of that, recruiting has become more of a national thing. While I think you should still get the skill position guys, the boundary corners, the receivers, the running backs, I think it's still a South Florida thing. But now it's so national, you can get great players everywhere. You can get, you can get quarterbacks from the Midwest. You can get offensive linemen from Texas, California, wherever. It's we are a national brand, and Mario has really treated it as such. So we're getting players from everywhere, which I like. I like that diversity. But yeah, no, for the most, aside from a couple of guys over the years, for the most part, I've always said, you got the guys you get, now develop them, and that's the one thing unfortunately we have not done. And you look at guys that are. Yeah, and you look at guys that were 3 stars and went elsewhere to Louisville, like a Tutu Atwell, let's say. It's like, why didn't we get that guy? That's a good question. Why didn't we get that guy? But who knows? He might have come here and he might have rode the bench. He might have come here and not gotten developed. You never know. It all depends. It depends a lot where you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a quick dono, man. Shout out to our guy Lex. It's a great day to be a King. Smash that like button for the crew. Appreciate you, Lex. That's family. Called me earlier because he broke the Discord in the flow chat because he goes, "Oh, guys, just let it out and vent." Yeah, that's not on an emotional day like this, man. Especially after last night. Now, speaking of last night, John, you know I gotta ask you, bro.
Yeah.
So the CFP leaves us out. The committee leaves us out over in Alabama, which I kind of expected, if I'm being honest. How, when you saw it, and I know we talked about it in the group chat, shout out to the group chat on WhatsApp, how you feeling today, man? You've had 12 hours to process it, 14 hours to process it. How you feeling right now about it?
I mean, for me, there wasn't really much to process. I wasn't actually, scratch that. Leading up to the day, you know, the narrative started to change a little bit on ESPN because I think some of them wanted to push for Cam Ward to be in the playoffs, and I get it. A player like that you want to see on a big stage. But, you know, they picked Alabama, and I wasn't shocked by that. I was like, okay, that's what I thought. I started to believe a little bit, like the hours leading up to it. I was like, oh, you know what? My gut's kind of telling me I think we're going to be put in, but then I got brought back to reality real quick. I don't agree with it. At the end of the day, it's on us, though. We lost to Syracuse, and that's, you know, we put it in other people's hands. And when the Canes put anything in the judges' hands, it's never going to go our way. We know that. We have to not only win, we have to dominate, you know? So that's blessing and a curse for us, but it's something I'm used to. You got to beat the team and the refs and the committee all at once sometimes.
All the time.
But all the time. Yeah. So it's not something I was too surprised by. And I was like, you know what? All right, that's the end of the season. We're 10-2. I think it's while I'm disappointed in how the season ended, I think it could have been more. I think we underachieved a bit. We can use this to build on. I really believe that. Especially with the younger recruits, the class of 26s and 27s. They're much younger. They're still kind of sitting back and watching and making their decisions. The current guys that are seniors now, a lot of them have narrowed their choices down. A lot of them have their college picked already. It's really just an NIL thing at that point once they're seniors. The younger kids, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, they're the ones that what you do on the field right now, you can impress them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, I think for the future, it's making a difference. The future's still bright. You just can't take a step back now. 10 wins has to kind of be the floor. It has to be the standard. So hopefully, you know, I think I went off on a tangent. I don't know if I answered your question, but I think that needs to be the standard moving forward. And when we brought Mario in, I thought at the very least, he is going to make us that perennial, worst case, he's going to make us the perennial 9-10 win every year program. And then we just kind of try to build off of that. Maybe we land an elite quarterback that could take us to the next level. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And let's see what happens over the next month.
Yeah, man. I feel the same way, man. Like if you give an SEC, especially Alabama, an opportunity to make it into the committee, they're gonna give it to them, right? Like, look, if I'm being honest, bro, like I know it sounds crazy, like I would have understood better South Carolina in that 11th spot because there's a chance that South Carolina beating Clemson last week, and if Clemson wins this week, they would have beat the ACC champion, right? Like that should count for something. I didn't like the fact that Warden Manuel was like, "No, the data points are set. Those teams can't add to anything they have, and that's just what it is." Like basically, like the at-large bids are already set. When actually South Carolina's resume can look different if Clemson wins.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the one that I would have understood. You know what I mean? But Alabama beat Clemson, or Alabama beat South Carolina head to head. So you kind of give them the nod. But there's nothing we could do, right? Like we didn't play in SMU. We don't have any of those head to heads against any other teams. And so I understand that, but I would have given the nod to South Carolina. In that, if that's the argument, right? Because there's a potential that the resume can change for South Carolina as opposed to Bama. Bama's locked in to whatever they are.
Right.
So
Go
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I didn't get that either. There's the entire top 25. You can make arguments of maybe one or two ACC teams that should have been in, and a couple of SEC teams or Big Ten teams that should have been out. But they're getting that little push because of the patch on their jersey.
Yep.
I'll give you one example. Duke at 9-3 and being a blocked field goal away from being 10-2 and a win over a top 10 SMU.
Yep.
That team should be ranked, in my opinion.
Yep.
Duke absolutely should be ranked. And Missouri, same record, but look at their losses. Their losses are way worse than Duke's losses. Duke lost to, at the time, number 6 Miami on the road. Lost to Georgia Tech, I want to say, on the road. And lost to SMU by an eyelash at home. But then you look at Missouri's losses, they got blasted by Alabama, and they had 2 other losses that I can't pick off the top of my head. So it's like, those little things like that it's like, oh, well, SEC strength of schedule. Well, yeah, strength of schedule is based on those other teams' rankings. Those other teams' rankings could be inflated. So you can't really totally go by that.
Well, yeah, it's not just them, but like Syracuse too, right? Syracuse 9-3, going into that game 8-3, should have been ranked, but they just because when Miami played them, the whole argument was like, oh, when Miami's not at fault for the other teams not being ranked when it's an arbitrary thing based on voting. You know what I mean? So it's like 10-2 is what it is. Like 6-2 in the ACC is crazy to have to meet that standard where you had to be basically one loss or undefeated to make the ACC championship. But yeah, it just got held against them, and it was, it is what it is. John, back to recruiting in this class, right? Out of the people we have right now, I guess there's conversations with other players, but everybody in the chat, please let me know because I'm not going to be clicking off as I'm live with y'all. Who's your favorite player in this class and why?
My favorite player, man.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Yeah, I know. I'm not. It's nothing personal against the rest of the guys, but there's always one guy. To me, there's always one player that stands out for whatever reason. It's not even like a tape thing. It's just like a vibe thing for me sometimes.
If I'm going just off that, like a vibe thing, Bryce Fitzgerald is up there for me. He's the first one that comes to mind. He's a great leader. He's a playmaker, both on offense and defense. Obviously, he's going to come in and likely play safety. Very intelligent player. That's another reason I like him a lot. He may not have the freaky athleticism that Drake Stubbs had, but that doesn't mean he can't be an amazing football player. Great athlete doesn't always translate to great football player. I mean, we've seen guys come through the doors at UM where that's happened, that they didn't really pan out as a football player. I want football players, it's at the end of the day, and that dude is one, and he's a leader. But a couple of other ones that have my attention that I'm excited about, Jabari Ant's one, obviously.
Yeah.
And Joshua Moore getting a 6'4", 200+ pound playmaker at receiver. That was huge. Because when was the last time you had a 6'4", 6'5" guy that's a red zone threat that can stretch the field? I can't remember the last time we had one of those. Maybe Lawrence Cager.
That grew into being a tight end, Lawrence Cager.
Yeah,
that guy was huge, bro.
And Amon Richards, but even Amon Richards, he was only like 6'1", 6'2". I mean, there wasn't. I can't remember the last time we had a guy before that. Maybe Leonard Hankerson, but you're talking 2010. You know what I'm saying? It's
Jesus, so long ago.
We don't get those. Yeah.
No.
So it's clear Mario's continuing his template of getting bigger, stronger, faster players, which we need. And those are just a few guys that I'm excited about. I know you and I spoke about Luke Nickel. I think it was at the game we were talking about Luke Nickel. this is going to test our staff. How good are we at developing a QB from
jump.
bringing him in as a freshman all the way to when he starts? We'll get a glimpse of that maybe in the bowl game of Emory, which I'm kind of looking forward to that in a weird way. I want to see how Emory looks, how Dawson's developed him this year. But Luke Nickel, I mean, now you're getting a guy from birth, essentially. You're bringing him in as a true freshman, and let's see how he cooks in this program. If by the time he's like a redshirt sophomore, he's ready to take the mantle, is he going to look good? I think he's got potential. He doesn't have does he have a Cam Ward ceiling? I don't think so. He's a tad limited in that regard, but he's kind of like Bryce Fitzgerald. I think he's a good leader. He's a football player. He's a competitor. Boy can spin it too. He's accurate.
Yes, he can.
He throws a nice ball. And in addition to development, another issue we've had is putting guys in the right scheme, finding a right scheme fit. If he fits, whoever is our OC at the time, it's not going to be Dawson forever. But if Luke Nickel comes in and he fits with whoever the play caller is, he could flourish, man. He could do really, really well here and do great things. So I'm excited to see what Luke Nickel can become. Let's put it that way.
Yep. Yeah, with Luke Nickel, man, I'm a big fan. He had a ball out of a game this past week in the playoffs. That team is I think that team's undefeated and just whacking people out. Like they're killing people out there, bro. I think they were like 42-14 at halftime in the Georgia playoffs, which is insane. But man, he's solid. And the growth he's had in development just from last year to this year, you can see how much better he is. Right, so he's dedicated to his craft. So I'm a big Luke Nickel guy. My favorite player in the class, again, just vibing, like watching some of his tape, is SJ, man. I can't say his last name. I'm not gonna mess it up. The center the center guard from Vegas, bro. Like that's like 6'1", 290. There's a nastiness that guy has that I absolutely love, man. He reminds me I can't give him a comp. But, man, I'm just a real big fan of him. Jabari Antoine, love that we held on to him and flipped him from LSU a couple months ago. And we look, this recruiting thing, man, till that ink dries on that at NLI, bro, it doesn't matter what graphic they put out or anything because you don't know the conversations they're having and stuff like that. So I'm a big fan of Jabari. Like you said, Josh Moore, big-time receiver. I like Chris Ewald. I actually really like this class, man. Like, I really, really like this class. There's nobody that I'm like, Jaden Wilkerson, I like him. I like his size. What is he, like 6'7"? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the class from On3. Jaden Wilkerson is 6'5", 330. Like, you can't teach that. You can't teach that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? 6'5", 330 is crazy. So, big fan of him. You know what I'm saying? Even on the lower rated guy, it doesn't matter. I don't care about stars. I've never looked at that. It's all about development, like you said. But yeah, man, the crazy thing about this time, and it's a question that I asked on the last show, we have National Signing Day this week, right? We've already seen all the graphics of portal players jumping in like crazy. Next week, the portal officially opens up, which means that most of those deals and contracts are already done. You know what I'm saying? Conversations are already being had. What are you feeling? What are your feelings towards the portal? Because as cool as it is National Signing Day today, the portal's open on Monday. Like it's open for business. How are you feeling about it? What are your thoughts as far as what positions you would like to see Miami go after?
I mean, obviously defense.
Yep,
and the one silver lining that you can get from how our season ended is that Mario can now just focus on the offseason right now. And we need defensive leaders, not just players. We need leaders and playmakers in a hurry, guys that can make an impact right now. So the other good thing is, yeah, you lost Drake Stubbs, you lost Gavin Nix. That hurts, but that hurts for a couple of years from now. It doesn't hurt you so much now. You already got guys in the boat from the last few classes that you're developing. Guys like a Darius Hayes, guys like Popo. So it's their turn now. Plus, if you supplement with the portal, now that the class is signed and everything. You lost a couple of guys. Hey, that's fine. Now, NIL resources can be diverted all and focused all on the portal, where you go and get a couple of safeties. You go and get a couple of linebackers that can help Popo, and probably a couple of D tackles. But the good thing is, look at D tackle. You got Justin Scott. You got Artavius Jones. You got a Bob Moten who took a step forward. So you can balance that with portal.
Monster.
Safety, or DB in general. You're going to get Ryan Mack back from his injury, who unfortunately he couldn't play this year. I think he would have helped a lot. You get Ryan Mack back. You get hopefully freshman All-American OJ Frederick back. You get Damari back from his injury. Hopefully he stays healthy. You got Zaquan Patterson. You got some nice pieces to kind of start with. Whatever DC, if Guidry's not here next year, whatever DC comes in, he's got some nice pieces to work with already that are young. Supplement, again, a couple of veteran DBs, guys that can come in and be that top tier playmaker that can kind of play next to Zaquan, and then maybe get a cornerback for depth or something. But yeah, get maybe thinking like 6, 7, like 6 guys on defense, and maybe like another 3 or 4 on offense, maybe a center, maybe a quarterback, maybe a receiver to supplement what you got with, and that's another nice group you got. You got Isaiah Horton, you got JoJo, you got Chance Robinson. So you got a nice Nikar. You got a nice young foundation still to work with, even though you're losing X and Cam and Borregales. You got a nice core to build around and supplement with. So it's, we're not completely gutted or anything. I think it hurt at the time losing a couple of recruits, but you kind of take a breath and look at the whole picture. It's like, we're still okay. We can build off last season. And, I trust Mario as far as program building. I think we're going to be fine there. I just hope, and I got to run back into the office, but I'll end with this. The DC hire has to be a home run. It's extremely, extremely important. Someone posted the other day, I forgot who it was, that he's 1 for 4 in coordinator hires. Unfortunately, that's true. The bizarre thing was Guidry looked good his first year. I don't know what happened year 2, but he's 1 for 4 on coordinator hires. He's got a hit. He's got a hit on this one. I don't know how else to say it.
He's got a hit. Yeah, there could be no question.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it can't be. It's got to be somebody that can use the talents on defense. You know how to use their strengths. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing. We've whiffed on so many coordinators over the years that don't know how to use our guys. Get somebody in that could use these guys correctly, because we got talent. We know we got talent.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, bro. Yeah, man. John, appreciate you jumping on during your lunch. Enjoy the rest of your day, brother. We'll talk. We'll be on till probably 4 or 5. So when I'm back on, you got the link. All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you. Later, man.
See ya. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate John jumping on real quick, man. Man literally took his lunch to chop it up with y'all. Yeah, man. John's right, man. The next hire, if that's the decision and route they go, has to be the right one. Lakers all day says go get Ed Reed. I don't want a first-year coordinator that's never done it to come here, man. This next one's got to be it, bro. Like, this next one's got to be serious. Shout out to John C. They purposely kept Mizzou, who lost 3 times, was blown out by 34 twice in the rank. Yeah, they never dropped off. It was wild. Back to the CFP. But yeah, man, how y'all in the chat, man? Let me know about this recruiting class. There's still some more names that could pop. My phone is currently going off, but I will not be checking my phone live during the show. Joe should be joining here shortly. I like the class, man. Yeah, obviously, look, the guys that we didn't get, it does suck. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to. I'm not a person that focuses on what we don't get. That's just not how I've rocked. No, Guidry, D-Rock, Guidry has not been fired. If y'all got the graphic, let me know. Like I said, I'm not gonna be clicking off on stuff and just gonna be chopping it up with y'all, freestyling basically till the rest of the team and the rest of our guests. We got a couple guests lined up for y'all. just jumping in. Ooh, you know what, Rocky? I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that one. But yeah, man, like the offseason starts now, right? Because there's a chance that it's gonna be the what is it? The Pop Tarts Bowl on December 28th. But that's tentative because SMU, if they lose, will likely not get that 11th spot, and they'll be bounced out of the playoffs, which is bananas, with one conference loss if they lose against Clemson, and they'll probably get that spot because that would go to the first loser, I believe. Like, I'm not sure how that goes, but it's crazy, man. I don't understand it. No Will Muschamp for me. Chris Kane for life says I want Will Muschamp. Does he still coach? Hold on, Josh. Let me scroll back for you, brother. I got you. Shout out to Josh Hanneman. Shout out to Jorge Blanco. Shout out to, let me see this one right here. Is it this one, Josh? It's ridiculous because the preseason poll ranks the entire ACC and says they have the hardest schedule. Yes, it's. Look. I don't know. I was on Flo show on Friday. Shout out to Flo. And I don't know if I said it on the show or after when we chopped it up after, but the SEC has a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? They hype up their squad, they hype up their rosters, so the margin for error is much greater. That's why you have a 3-loss conference team in Alabama that goes up, but they're in the SEC and they get that omission, which is why players can go there knowing that their window is greater of losing and they still get an opportunity, right? So if you're a young high school recruit, you go, look, man, I got 2 games that I could kind of mess with, right? Again, in that sense, that might not be how they view it, but the perspective of it. So you can lose 3 conference games and you'll be fine. It's not detrimental to your team. You still get that exposure, which that exposure leads to NIL opportunities and things like that. So yeah, man, it's crazy. Jorge Blanco says the portal is there to complement what we are missing. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I think we have to change, and I've struggled with this, right? I think we have to change how we view the portal because everybody portals. Ohio State portals, Oregon portals, Michigan, every big time team, every big time program portals. You can't rely on it solely. It has to be there for supplemental purposes because you're going to have players come but they're not all going to develop. And when they don't develop at the right speed that you want them to, which is basically a 2-year span, right? If you have 2 years of that player and they don't crack the top 2 or 3, they're probably going to bounce because they're going to want an opportunity somewhere else. And that's fine. Like we don't have to look at them as failures. It's just like sometimes it just doesn't line up. Sometimes the stars didn't line up, and that's all right, man. Like it sucks, right? Because you want all of them to hit. Like there's going to be guys from our team, which I'm surprised. There's players on our roster that are going to jump in the portal because it opens on Monday. Like I wouldn't be surprised who jumps in and when they jump in. So that's going to be all right, man. Like this is the business we're in now. It's very hard to adjust to because it's fucking jarring in a way, right? Because it goes from like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, this wasn't even a thing to now. A 1-year player, can come sign in today, come in January and leave in the spring portal. Like that's completely a possibility. The portal opens. I think chat. Let me know, please. The chat opens. The portal opens on Monday, and it's open for 30 days. And the spring portal opens at the end of spring practices and is open for 15 days. So this is the business we're in now. You have to recruit those portal guys too. Excuse me, those portal guys as well, and bring them in because John was right, man. You can't take a step back next year. You're 10-2. You have to continue that, man. Next year's schedule is way harder. Next year's schedule is we end the season next year on 3 straight road games. Jorge Blanco says, I like Miller Moss. I'm a fan. I like Miller Moss. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking that. There's a lot of guys that are high on Caden Salter. There's Connor Weigman is out there. Excuse me, guys. Hold on 1 second. Where's my mic? All right, there we go. Oh, someone down the wrong pipe on that one. It's just weird. Rocky says the portal, you have to hit home runs. You can't hit singles. It's got to be studs, 100%. And you got to overwin. You can't. There'll be the arguments next year again of is Miami back, recruiting classes, yada yada yada. But it's gotta be what it is, man. 10-2 has to be the floor, which is a crazy standard, but that's what it's gonna have to be. Let's see what Doodoo says. Shout out to Doodoo, man. It's one of the OGs, man. 25 class is nice, but how do we go 10-2 if we don't have a top 10 recruiting class? Make it make sense. The world has changed, Doodoo. The world has changed from it's not just relationship building anymore. It's NIL, it's conference. Look at what is SEC got 4 teams in. It's conference opportunities, right? The young men and these players think about that stuff. There are things that factor in now that didn't before. And typically, which has been said on many other shows, shout out to everybody who creates this Canes content thing. This seasons like this usually help the next class. So 26 should be when we go beast with it, because that's already the proof of concept. Does it hurt that we get left out of the playoffs? Yes. Does it hurt that that we didn't win out and perform the way we should have and optically look bad on defense for many times this season? Yes, right? Like that's all valid, and those are valid criticisms without ever being disrespectful. You know what I mean? The disrespect will come later. Slug Bruce says, "Do you think us getting a new secondary coach hurt us this season?" Slug. All right, I guess we talking. All right, man. Look, I don't, and I tweeted this out. If you follow me at Benny Boondocks, I tweeted this out. I didn't understand how there was so much miscommunication in the secondary because Coach Jackson and Coach Guidry both had worked together previously. That was an issue for me throughout the season, but it's just like one of those things. All right, they'll get it together, but it was like, how was it continuously? You know what I'm saying? An issue that didn't make any sense to me at all. But I don't know what you do. Look, if they decide to go in another direction on the defensive side, I think everybody's on the table, man. You got to let the D coordinator choose his own people. Can't put square pegs into round holes. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You gotta let them cook. So it might be another staff change turnover on that side, or it might not be. But like, look, it was just a lot of injuries, which basically just Damari Brown. So that can't be a cop out. Can't be the young guys because these are mostly veteran players, except for OJ, and OJ was your best guy. Even as I'm talking this, because I'm giving y'all my stream of consciousness. Even as I'm talking about it, like I don't know how you stick with it. I just really don't. Let's see what we got here. Will Muschamp will help Mario or clock manage. I don't know about that one. So Rocky's putting out his wants. Rocky says Quinn Ewers and Casey Concepcion are must-gets. Casey for a replacement of X would be dope. Would be absolutely dope. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Appreciate all the comments. Eric Freya says Flo says something about another DT besides Jarker Carter. We'll see what Flo says. Flo will be joining us at 3 p.m. We have another guest jumping on in about 15 minutes. See how we do. But yeah, man. Let's see. 18-year-old pulls up in a Lamborghini on signing. Yeah, fam. The money is different. The money is absolutely different. And let's keep it a buck. Look, let's take. I'm not gonna take this off because you know what I'm saying I'm a Cane for life. But let's take these Cane's glasses off for a second. If you're 17, 18 years old and somebody offers you, I don't know what the numbers are. Don't care. I've never tapped anybody else's pockets. But if you're 17, 18 years old and a school comes to you with 750, 950, 1.5 as an offer, what do you do? Right? Like if the bidding wars are there, what do you do when somebody comes at you with 1.5 to play football? 2.5, 3, what was it? Bryce Underwood that flipped to Michigan got what, $12 million, $9 million? Like, how do you say no to that as an 18-year-old kid? And that's life-changing money before you even make it to the league. So yeah, man, kids are pulling up in Lamborghinis, you know what I'm saying, the Porsches, anything and anything they want, man. It's crazy. If ever possible for Miami to go back to independent, like Notre Dame, it's almost a guarantee a spot. I would disagree, Callie. I don't think Miami gets viewed the same as a Notre Dame. Remember, Notre Dame had a terrible loss, but they played solid programs. That's the Texas A&M win was I think their biggest win. You know what I mean? So it was 10.3. That's bananas, bro. Some of us will never see $10 million in our lifetime. He's making it. Shout out to Michigan though, because I hate Ohio State. So shout out to Michigan for that dub, man. Ryan Day. Shout out to the dude who made the skit that everybody tagged me on, because the quote was like he had time to dye his beard. He should have developed his players. They spent what $25-30 million on that roster to be 10-2 and still get, you know what I'm saying, still get clapped up by Michigan. Kick the tires on Jeremiah Smith to hit the portal along with CJ Bailey and go get Concepcion. Open up the checkbook. I'm with you on that. Fire Marine. Appreciate you joining us, man. Looks like our NIL money will be for the portal. Now there's NIL money being spent on this recruiting class. But yeah, the portal is the business. It's just business. Like it. Shout out to the guy, Mo, man. Only showed up 45 minutes late. Appreciate you, my brother. It's my guy, man. Mo's one of the most genuine and cool people, bro. Like he's always honest, even though his sports takes are terrible. That's my guy, man. Says this NIL ruined college football. It didn't ruin it. It got ruined how it was rolled out, right? The NCAA just going, we don't know what money is, while they were making billions off these young men. That's where the problem was. They put no parameters, set no rules, weren't prepared for it, got caught with their pants down, man, and it's crazy. And I think that's what the issue was. That's what the issue was with NIL. Rockies have so been 10.3 for Underwood. How much pressure on that? The thing that's crazy, right, from my understanding of NIL, as much as I've researched it, is that it's not performance-based, and he's got mad, and he's got that money's pretty much guaranteed unless he opts out. Because remember, if he overperforms that, he could renegotiate next year and drop, you know what I'm saying, and be like, look, man, I brought y'all to the playoffs after a year of 6-6. So, yeah, what is IMLA got 9 for Tennessee? Got $9 million. I think he's done all right. Got them in the playoffs. The thing is, also, here's a question for y'all in the chat: 4 players that are valued at that much, right? Like a DJ Lagway that got money from Florida, they get viewed differently because of the money, right? Like higher paid players get more leeway, and the narratives are different around them, right? Like I didn't think IMLA. I thought IMLA was solid, but I didn't think he was, you know what I'm saying, an end-all, be-all. I think that defense for Tennessee is solid, but he gets the benefit of the doubt because of the money, right? Like, it's wild. We're right behind them, Fresh. According to the On3 rankings, we are 13th, and they are 12th as of right now at the most. And, I mean, we're like decimal points behind them. Hopefully there's another commit that happens, but we'll see. Y'all know me, man. Just here to chop it up with y'all. Let's see. I think the playoffs should be a 16 team for real. I think we should do away with conference, and I think it was Poke that said it on Sunday. Just do like East West and like the top 8 teams from East Side. You know what I'm saying? Do it that way. Kids getting paid to go on free vacation. Mo. Look, I'm looking straight at the camp. Mo. We get paid vacations too, fam. Our PTO is real, but that money that they get paid is 100% different. But you know how much there's places I would never visit. Like I would never go to Ohio, and my best friend lives there, and he watches this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, John, I would never visit Ohio, bro. And I love you, my brother. We've been friends for like almost 30 years. I would never go to Ohio. Just not something that I would do. I would go to like Hawaii. I would visit Oregon. Oregon's a beautiful place. But yeah, man, neck and neck with Florida. Yeah, we're right behind them. Mo hasn't been a kid in a very long time, G. That's long gone. Peanut, shout out to Peanut. What you got to say? So the one thing Mario was good at recruiting, he can't even do that anymore. Now, not necessarily too, my brother. You know what I mean? It's the business is ever changing, and sometimes you got to be ready for the change. That's all. Cali Kane is right. Gators are overspending on their class. It will likely be 2022 TAMU class in terms of spending money, but not getting the production they thought. Yeah. Look, they're gonna do what they need to do. They double down. They doubled down on Billy Napier. I don't think Billy's that guy. They kind of had some performances against mid to worst teams and that get hyped up in that conference as to better wins than what they are. And yeah, that's what it is. Again, like Ole Miss played in the same stadium we played at. We clapped them by 24, and they lost. Shout out to Josh Hanneman, my guy. I believe the CFP hates money. If Miami was the last team in, that would have been Miami versus yeah, for real. Miami versus Notre Dame would have been bananas. Catholics versus Comms would be the highest watch first round matchup. Yeah, but they prefer the SEC more. They just think Bama's the bigger draw because Bama for the last 15 years has been in the playoffs, right? It's crazy. Eric Fria says they need to adopt what the NFL has done to do the wild cards, which are the at-large bids. But here's my issue with the at-large. The at-large bids shouldn't go, to me, in my opinion, shouldn't go to the biggest conference, right? Like to who they see as the biggest conference. Again, Miami was 4-2 against bowl teams. This is the crazy shit, yo. Like Alabama played 12 games. Only 4 of the teams they played were bowl eligible, and they went 1-3 against them. And they were just like, "Oh, well, let's pick this other random fact to decide it on," which is crazy. He picked like one thing. It was bananas, bro. I prefer he goes, "Look, man, they're Alabama. They're in the SEC, and we prefer them." Just be real, bro. Like this other excuses. Who gives a shit? You already made the decision. Like you already said, "Yo, this is who we're picking," and that's what it is. Shout out to my guy Mo, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Probably on lunch, probably running late somewhere. That's my guy. Then I'm holding on Bama and pray that they get B45-3. Things that sucks, bro, is like they could go on a run, and then they have to win like 1 or 2 games that they could justify being in there. And their matchup going to be Notre Dame if they stay until the 11th spot? Fresh as offered to Oregon, no way. Is that what's happening? Y'all let me know, man. Damn. Okay, offered flipped to Oregon. Naeem offered, not TJ offered, right? Listen, man, I'm giving y'all the real reactions. So whatever, don't tell me no wild shit that got me reacted to it, then I got to verify, and it didn't happen. Got me out here looking crazy. Let me see. Let me check on X real quick. Luke Nickel in the building. Let me know in the chat, man, who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite player in this recruiting class, man? There's still some other things going on. Let's see what's popping. All right, so my guy says Miami targets that have not signed yet: DJ Pickett, TJ Offord, Justice Terry, Solomon Thomas, Derek Meadows, Jakeem Stewart, Malachi Tony, Tyler Williams, Jarquez Carter, Racine Guillory. All right, there's still some possibilities out there. Gotta spend that bag. Fresh, you had me rolling though. I was like, no, not Alfred, son. Alfred's one of my guys that I really want in this class. All the DBs, I'm a big fan of all the DBs, man. I really like it. From Bryce Fitzgerald, Chris Ewald. Let's go down this line, man. Let's talk about this recruiting class a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. We got Josh Moore, solid. 6'4", 205 as an 18-year-old is crazy. SJ, G. Pringle, man, from Gerard Pringle is a problem as a running back, bro. Please watch the tape. Hayden Lowe from Cali went all the way to the West Coast with the gold jacket. Bryce Fitzgerald. Herbert Third Scroggins. Please watch that tape, people. Please watch that tape. Please watch that tape, man. The dude's reach is crazy. His jump off the line is bananas. Chris Ewald, 5'11", basically 5'11" and a half. Who measures half an inch? Come on, fam. That's 6 foot. Jabari Antoine is one of my favorite players in this class. Brock Schott, big time tight end out of Indiana. Kellen Wiley was such a get, bro. Miami was, again, I told you at the beginning, Miami was the first team to bring him on, to offer him. Then everybody else jumped on. And yeah, man, Dutch King, it's confirmed that it's said that he is that he is going there, but has not signed yet, from my understanding. Unless he submitted it already, I'm not sure. Yeah, Fire Marine, he has not signed. From everything that Gio says, you know what I'm saying, American Heritage doesn't sign until this afternoon. So we'll be reacting to that. We're gonna be on here till likely 4 or 5 o'clock, man. So it's a marathon on this bad boy. Appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me, man. Appreciate y'all supporting the pod. It means the world, man. We started this thing 2 years ago, and we you know what I'm saying, we still rocking with y'all, man. Over 2,000 subscribers have hit that subscribe button. Appreciate y'all. Kane's Vibe, Miami recruiting is at 12th, still the highest in the ACC. GT is at 19. Okay, yeah, they picked up a big time player, man. Look, gotta give credit, man. I really appreciated the other coaches speaking up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, doing some conference alliance. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a business, but They didn't have to. You know what I mean? And even with Clemson, that's still so in the ACC was like, yo, Miami needs to be in. So shout out to them. Tony said Saturday he will sign somewhere. I think Friday is when the national early signing day period ends. Look, whatever Malachi Tony wants to do is whatever Malachi Tony wants to do. We're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, debate that here. That's a you know what I'm saying, early enrollee, 17 years old. Not gonna stress it out. Whatever he wants to do, he wants to do. Yeah. Pickett is the one that I want. Yeah. And TJ Alford. I'm not gonna even act like that's not who I want. 818, Cali Kane knows SJ is one of my faves. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So y'all let me, yeah, man. It's crazy. Get some water, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Hydrate. Give y'all a little behind the scenes. I got cough drops to my left. I got some cafe right here in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I got my water because it's a marathon, bro. It's crazy. Excuse me. Dante Colon, I think you've been copying and pasting the same thing. Let's see here. Miami Mario and company didn't win the games they should have. All of them, Mario being an alumni, he should have never allowed the good old boy system. Yeah, but that's, fam, the refs have always been a factor. Going 10-2 is nothing that seems that. You lost a 2 bowl game. Look, obviously you want to go undefeated. It's who we predicted is what we predicted at the beginning of the season. You know what I'm saying? When we did our breakdowns and team breakdowns, we expected 12-0. It didn't happen, 10-2. And it sucks, bro. You can't leave this shit in the hands of the NCAA, of the conference. You can't. You got to overwin. You always have to overwin if you're Miami. They're going to find excuses. My guy, Mastermind Skills, is Man Max Buchanan because he's from my city. Stanford, stand up. Also, he's a beast. Definitely Miami mentality. Yo, Max Buchanan is a problem. I think he's an early enrollee. Let's go through this. Let's see who the early enrollees are for the 2025 class. So as of right now, according to On3, Jabori Antoine is an early enrollee. Jabori Antoine is an early enrollee. Who else? Herbert Scroggins is an early enrollee. Luke Nickel will be here in January. Max Buchanan, Dalen Upshaw, Ezekiel Marcelin from Central, big-time linebacker. Was it 5'11", 210? That's solid. Micah Newton out of Newberry, Florida, which is by Gainesville. Jaden Wilkerson. And, yeah, that's it. Malachi Tony would be if he decides to commit to Miami or not. Put pen to paper. But, yeah, man. Let's see what we got here. The Grambling linebacker I want in the portal. Gambling linebacker I want is in the portal. He's good. We need corners for early enrollee. Yeah, we need secondary. We need secondary. Yes, we need to stop letting all this Florida talent go out of state. This is my Corey Raymond is a problem. If that's where he decides to sign. Let's see if Mario pulls something out of the hat, which would be dope, but it's not looking likely. Pickett and OJ would be dope. Yeah, but Pickett and Damari Brown, OJ and Damari Brown is going to happen. Ryan Mack is a problem. Don't sleep on Dylan Day, man, that we got last year. Solid player, solid on special teams, caused the fumble, you know what I'm saying, made good plays. But we'll see, man. It's a lot popping. Let's see what one is going crazy. Let's see what we got here. Nothing. All right. Just a bunch of nothing happening over there. But yeah, man, let's see. Let's go through this class, family. All right. Hayden Lowe. Can't sleep on him. Out of Cali. Not an early enrollee, though, so he'll be in the summer. Bryce Fitzgerald, Columbus, not an early enrollee. But yeah, man, let's see what we got. Brock Schott is an early enrollee. My fault. Skip that one. Luca Gilbert, another tight end. Shout out to our tight ends coach that escapes from Amari Wallace. Hopefully he's healthy. Will likely be our nickel in a couple years, 5'9", 175. Dante Simpson, solid, you know what I'm saying? A little undersized for a D lineman. But he's only 17. So, you know what I'm saying? And we still got we got Armando Blunt. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. He can play inside and outside. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this soon, man. This is definitely on the agenda. Yeah, let's see. If we're not even playing this number football, it's crazy. Yeah, let's see, man. It's a crazy time, people. Oh, man. There's players that I still want in this class that hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping they jump, man. I'm hoping they make that decision. I'm hoping that happens, but we shall see. Drink some water, man. We got We got our next guest jumping on soon. We need another Scott DT. Yeah, there's still players out there, man. There's still conversations, negotiations being had. This is ever changing again. How y'all feel in the chat, man? I don't like that this is 3 days. Like I kind of wish it was over today, so I wouldn't have to be like waiting for tomorrow and then Friday be like, oh shit, let's see what's going on with this. Let's see what's going on with that one. I would like it to just be over today. The 3-day thing just doesn't make sense to me. And then isn't there like also a late signing day too? That's also a thing that can happen. Man, that's just crazy, bro. 10-2 and not being able to close out is bananas. Not even gonna hold you. I'm not sure what I'm gonna say on this show because I'm saying it's just every thought that jumps in my head is gonna be said. Doodoo, can we get this confirmed? Chat, let me know, man. Let me know in the chat. Is this true? It says breaking news. Poff just hit the portal. So it looks like the Emery show. Let's confirm this on Twitter as I hit this refresh. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Got CB quoting song lyrics. He must be going through it. Let's see. Where did you guys see that Poff? Is it on Twitter? That Poff is hitting the portal. Which that's gonna happen now. We're going to see a lot of a good amount of players hitting the portal from our roster. Who that is, we will talk about when those graphics happen. Y'all know how we do on the show. We do not I don't want to say enforce. We do not view or degrade or diminish any player on this roster. So, you know what I mean? When they hit the portal, we'll talk about it. But in this business, you have to clear space when you bring, it's 1 for 1. If you're going heavy in the portal, because you have 27 graduating seniors, you have how many players in this class? 21 commits. So as of right there, you got a space for 6. Okay, that's not bad. Then you probably need 5 to 7, maybe 8, 9 players to I don't want to say bounce because that sounds rude, but yeah, to bounce. Like you're gonna need to clear that space because you need the roster spots. So yeah. So with 21 players coming in, 27 leaving, and more to possibly jump in the portal that are underclassmen, you have to clear that space, man. Callie, let me know, bro. Is it official that that Poff is out? Yeah, John C. Emery was the guy behind him. So Fresh, all right. Fresh says yes. Ham, I saw your comment. Just don't want to put it up because, like I said, we don't put out any dis. No, it's not disrespectful, but I'm saying wish him the best. I'll put it to you like this: whoever leaves in the portal, I wish them the best in their future endeavors. You know what I mean? Pop is leaving. That means Emery's the guy, and behind him would be the 6'7" quarterback. All right, I guess that's per sources. Per sources, yes, he is even leaving. That's so official, Callie. Shout out to Callie, man. We chop it up in the DMs, man. That's my guy. Per sources, yes, he is entering the portal. Okay. All right, so we got our first one to bounce. That's what's up. It's the business. It's the business that we're in. Let's see, just in refresh. I'm trying to see. Shout out to my guy CB with all the graphics. If y'all not following Chalupa Batman, aka Corey Carmona, aka Mr. High School Interviews, aka I watch 1,000 hours of high school football all the time. All right, it's cool. So didn't get French. I don't like how this timeline goes. Like it's all over the place. Who knows what's happening here? Who knows? Says Poff to FSU. Iowa's McNamara. He's entering his 7th season. Good. We have a guy leaving us 9 years. But shout out to Cam McCormick though, man. The man destroyed both his knees and his Achilles twice. Both Achilles twice. And he came back. Fam, that would be crazy. I stub my toe when I'm ready to call in sick. The fuck? Like, keeping it. Yo, you ever stubbed your pinky toe like on the corner of a door and you just look at your door like, yo, I gave you life. How you gonna do this shit to me? Like, that's the worst. Is it worse to stub your toe on the edge of the bed or on the edge of on the corner of a door. Just I'm just topping it up with y'all. Off to FSU. FSU making coordinator hires though. They can't recruit for shit. So I'm not really worried about them. I'm never really worried about them. Get that FTBT shirt on the website. Let me drop that graphic for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You click this right here. Bam. Scan that QR code. Where is it? Right here. You know what I'm saying? And you check out the website, scan it, you know what I'm saying? Supports the show. Appreciate y'all so much. And make sure, this is going to pop up in the middle of my face. I knew it. This wasn't the one I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, you know what I'm saying, y'all smash that like button. Subscribe. Appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. We're just hitting the first hour of the show. I don't know. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Check the link I posted. I don't see a link, dude. But I believe you, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not. There's been a couple more people that have confirmed it. 34 playing college ball is crazy work. Fam, I'm 40. I couldn't even. Oh, that is bananas. That is bananas. So South Carolina got a 34-year-old on their roster. I mean, if he still has eligibility left, rock with it, bro. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Let's see if we got any more news. We got 45 minutes, 55 minutes till possibly DJ Pickett signs with LSU, even though it's been confirmed. But man, Kevin Wiley, yep. Matt Zenna says Miami QB Reese Poffenbarger has entered the portal. Poffenbarger, yeah, left the FCS, which surprising because you know what I'm saying, he's been a Miami guy for a minute. Matt Merritt, shout out to Coach Matt Merritt. Just going kind of scrolling through Twitter, seeing what's happening. Nothing recently. Let's see what's going on, man. Get some water, family. Yeah, man. 10-2 season, and we might be in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like that's bananas. Let me see. Cam's gonna opt out. X is gonna opt out. Get ready for the league. Who knows who else? Elijah's probably bouncing. Yeah, man. It's gonna see the young guys. I'd like to see. I'm excited to see Cameron Bobby Pruitt. I'm not excited to see, but I am curious to see who jumps in the portal next. Because now the door's open, right? Now it's like, okay, who else is going to be told to bounce, and who else is going to choose it for themselves? Because names are going to surprise you. There's a couple off the top of my head. You know what I mean? There's a couple off the top of my head that I could see jumping out. So Dutch King says one reporter thinks Miami versus LSU in the Gator Bowl. I'd be down with that. Gator Bowl is in Tampa, right? That's where the Gator Bowl is. Dude asked, Ben, how do you feel about Miami possibly regressing next year? I think that would be, Ludo, to put it kindly, fucking unacceptable. That cannot happen next year. The schedule is harder. Again, we end the season with 3 straight road games, which is bananas. Let's go through that right now, man. Oh, it's in Jacksonville. I'm not fucking going to Jacksonville. Sorry. It's just I've been in Jacksonville area. I'm all set. Let's see here. That's Miami Hurricanes 2025 schedule. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we kick off the season next year because this season's over. We got a bowl game left. Let's just, we can start turning the page to 2026. We got Notre Dame, or 2025, 2026 recruiting class. Notre Dame Fighting Irish on August 30th. Or, this is the crazy thing about that first game. It could be anywhere from August 28th to September 1st, according to FBS schedules. Then you got Bethune, USF, Florida, and then the dates to be determined for the ACC schedule. We have Florida State, Louisville, NC State, Stanford, Syracuse, at Pitt, at SMU, and at Virginia Tech. And obviously the Florida State game would be at Florida State. That's next year's schedule. Dude, I think it depends on who you get in the portal, man. Obviously, I think, to me, you're going to have to get a portal quarterback, just numbers-wise, because you'd be going into the season basically with a redshirt freshman, a true freshman and a redshirt sophomore in Emory. You're gonna have to go in the portal for a quarterback. Just the classes wouldn't line up. You're gonna need, if Quinn Ewers jumps in the portal after the playoffs, which is weird, right? Because like I think he would still be playing if they go to the national championship. He would still be playing after the portal closes. Y'all can let me know if those times line up or not. Yeah, hell of a home schedule. Can't complain about it. No exciting games. Yeah, the home games are trash, bro. Like, I mean, Louisville, maybe. Florida game. Look, we got Florida and Notre Dame at home. Those are solid. Those are two hated rivals. USF, Bethune, cakewalk. But Syracuse, Pitt could. Not a big fan of next year's schedule at all. But you know, this year's schedule was what it was, and you know, 1-6-0 at Hard Rock. That can't be tossed out either, man. Let's see, phone lighting up, going crazy. Excuse me for a second, family. Excuse me for a second. All right, yeah, man. But again, the 3 on the road to end it: at Pitt, at SMU, at Virginia Tech, and you know that Virginia Tech's going to be a night game. You just know it, fam. Like, it's going to 100% be a night game. Without a doubt, they're going to enter the Sandman on that shit, and it'll be for likely a chance to go to the ACC championship again. Because Florida State's going to be trash. Who knows what SMU schedule is going to look like next year, which is crazy that their first-year program makes it to the ACC and goes right to the ACC championship. And if they lose as an undefeated conference team and loses in the ACC championship, they will be out of the playoffs because Alabama is locked in. John C says next year's schedule is tough as shit. 100%. Two hated rivals in the first 4 weeks. Yeah, and there's no bye week in the first 4, right? Because the conference schedule the conference dates haven't been set yet, but the teams that we're playing has. And when they get locked in, they're locked in. John C says, yeah, SMU loses, they are out of the playoffs. Absolutely. Yeah, they said it yesterday. It says, give Emory the keys or another portal QB. You have to get a portal QB. You have to get somebody to compete with Emory. I don't want to go, if Emory beats them, but you have to go get a portal QB. 100%. There's no, again, you're starting the year. You'd be starting next year with a redshirt sophomore, a true freshman, and a redshirt freshman. You got to get one. Not chemo. Notre Dame does not have a conference, so that's all non-conference schedule. So the cakewalks that we had next year, we only have Bethune-Cookman, we have a G5 in USF, and you bookend that with Notre Dame to begin the season, and then Florida to close out the first 4 games non-conference schedule, which I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. So other programs do 3 non-conference games at the beginning, and then a cakewalk before their final game of the season. How Clemson did it, how Alabama did it when they played Mercer. How y'all feel about that? Would you want to change to that, or would you want your first 4 non-conference games out of the way? Because they're kind of validating the Alabama beating Mercer as a win. When, I mean, it's Mercer. I don't even know what that school does as a benefit. I'm sure it's a good university. No disrespect to them. Yes, it is, John. Let's not get crazy. Let's not be disrespectful. To they're a cakewalk. They're 100% a cakewalk. Absolutely, to me all the time. It's just I'm not giving them credit. John C says, give Emory the keys to spend all the money on DBs, DTs, and a big time wide receiver. But what if Emory gets hurt? Then you have who? You're gonna go to Luke Nickel after that, or do you go with our 6'8" quarterback that didn't play a snap last year? Was it Judd? Yeah, Judd. I mean, you got to get, if Emory beats the guy you have coming in, then Emory beats him, and then that's fine. But you need a portal QB. You can't regress next year, bro. Next year's schedule is even harder. And I like Emory, right? I don't know if I want to go back to a statue quarterback. I don't know if I can. I need somebody that can move around in that pocket. Maybe he's developed a little bit of that athleticism. Maybe he's gotten better with. I need a guy that can run a little bit, man. When the play's broken down, can tuck it and run. I'm not saying he needs to be, I'm saying Jalen Milroe, which would be nice, but I need somebody that offers that as a challenge to the defense to have them give them something to be ready for. I don't want a quarterback that go, all you got to do is knock him off his spot, and then the whole offense can go awry. I just don't want that, man. Kane's Vibe says, I would like that cupcake better. I would like that late cupcake better, in my opinion. Yeah, man, like other programs do that where they go 3 and they go right into conference play and then a late cupcake, which can give your team an a get right game if they need it, and it gives them a win, right? Because again, like Alabama and most SEC teams always play a cupcake before they play their rivalry game. Like Ole Miss does it before they play Mississippi State, and so on and so forth. Does Mario keep his job if he goes 8-4? Yes, bro. They're not getting rid of Mario. Like that's not happening. Like that's sometimes like I want to give context. Like we won 52% of our games before Mario took over this program. This wasn't like a program that was on a trend up and then Mario came in and was like, oh, let's knock it down to 5-7. We have to be realistic to who we were. Yes, other programs have had jumps, but to me, right, again, I'm very Miami focused. Like to me, the stigma of Miami and the issues that Miami have had because of their challenges and because of the pressure that comes with a program that has an actual history, not programs that have had just good seasons, becomes way more challenging, right? Because when you have a team that's had 5 national championships but hasn't had one for 20 years, that next guy has to be the hero, right? Has to fix it. And the reality is most of us, for the majority of our lives, Miami hasn't been what they were when we were growing up in this shit, right? Like I'm 40. Like I fell in love with this university in 97 when I first saw them on my small, like 15-inch Magnavox TV that had a broken remote control and I had to walk up to it to change it. I remember watching the UCLA Ed Reed game. And I was like, okay, I'm locked in forever. Like I didn't even know what it was. You know what I mean? So we have to be realistic to that. Yes, it's fucking challenging losing the way we lost and having this bitter taste in our mouth with the end of the season, getting left out of the college football playoffs. But again, 10-2, 6-2 in the conference, 6-0 at home is also nothing to sneeze at. We as fans tend to want to focus on the negative so strongly that it destroys the positive that this program is headed into. You know what I mean? It takes a lot, bro. Like for those of you guys who are like Hispanic, you know what I mean? Like, this thing needed a limpieza. Like there was a stigma and just a bad cloud, a dark cloud over this program because it could just never get right. And it still happens, you know what I mean? We talk about it in the You Heard group chat. There's things that just happen things that just can't get right. Like Rhett Lashley was good here. He's balled out at SMU. You know what I mean? Like he was good. Like Manny Diaz, before he came here, was a good DC. Wasn't ready for the head coaching job. Got it. You know what I mean? Like just things haven't happened. To win in college football is hard as fuck. Fam, we just won 10 games for the second time in 22 years. That still happened, right? Likely to go 11-2 against our next program if Emory balls in that game and all our youngins play, because most of our upperclassmen are gonna go either A to graduate or go to the league. You know, so shout out to my guy Moment. This is Mario's job. Stop the nonsense, Canes fan. We got to pull that back in, man. 8-4 would hurt because it would be a tough one. But how does that 8-4 happen? What if those 2 losses are non-conference? You know what I mean? And you go 6-2 and you have a chance for the ACC championship because you only had 2 conference losses, right? Because that would mean that you lost to 2 of your hated rivals, and it would suck. But what if you finish stronger and it looked better towards the end and you got better throughout that year, right? Because you are recovering from not having a Cam Ward, not having a Jalen Rivers, you know what I mean? Not having possibly an Inez Cooper, possibly. Not saying that he's going to the league. That's for him and his family's decision to make. You know, it all depends on how it looks optically. Because at 8-4 can still get you, or 9-3 can still get you. Obviously, can still get you in the ACC championship game. So if we go, let's say 9-3, projecting it out, we haven't done the breakdowns. Portals, 2 portals still have to happen to see what this roster is going to look like. What if that 9-3 gets us a conference playoff bid, or because we won the ACC? Then does that change for you? Like if they go 9-3, does that change? Like they lose one of their rivalry games at the beginning, but beat Florida and have another loss, so it puts them at 3 losses. Then does it change? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Soup, yeah, at 3 bills for that. And what a game. People are saying Mario should be fired. Cannot be. Hey man, listen, they gotta feel how they feel, bro. He was just asking the question. I don't think he could be on the hot seat, man. I think to us because of how the year ended. But he's got to make adjustments. I'll say that. Okay, Elijah Griffin signs with UGA. Yeah, that's home, man. He had like 32 visits there. Super says, did the Canes get hosed by college football playoff? Yes, but we cannot leave it up to outsiders to decide our fate. They don't like Miami. They don't believe in Miami, nor do they want to win on the field. 100%. So I don't know if you guys saw. Shout out to Super Still, man. 100% right. I don't know if you guys saw on our bye week. Before on our bye week, right? There was a graphic that came out. This is when I started seeing the signs of like, oh, okay, it's over. It was after we lost to Georgia Tech, because then we went into a bye week. They didn't even have Cam in their top 15 quarterbacks, and it wasn't like for that week, right? It was through week 13, I think it was, or whatever. I'm like, okay, so you just already decided that your narratives that you built up are done, are over. It is what it is, and we're moving. Hands of anybody else. You have to overwin every single time, even though you haven't won at this level in over 20 years, right? Again, second 10-win season in year 3 of second 10-win season in Mario's third year, when we've only won 10 games one other time. And y'all remember how that year ended. We gotta get that 11th win though. I don't want to go into to next season going 10-3 again, and you've kind of ended losing 3 or 4. That's got to change. You know what I'm saying? That's got to change for sure. Joey's gonna be here on in a minute, man. He's handling some family business, so we'll talk about it with him. For right now, I will be drinking some cafe. Appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me, man. We got another guest coming soon. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how that goes. Let's see what's popping here. All right, hasn't seen the link yet, but you know, yeah, it's an $80 million contract that they would have to pay out. They're not paying that out now. They're fully invested in what he's building. You gotta, you know, again, gotta give it some time to cook, man. You know what I'm saying? Year 3, 10-2, 5-7, 7-5, 10-2. That's a good trend. You know what I mean? It's not 5-7, 5-7, and 7-5, because that would look like shit, like another program. But 5-7, 7-5, should have been 8-4, 10-2. That's trajectory is going in the direction that I like. It was 5-7, 5-7, 4-8, all completely out. Completely. All right, man, we're ready to move on. Thank you for coming. Wish you the best in your future endeavors, but not with the trajectory they're going in. Again, convince Cam somehow, some way to come back to Miami, or not to come back, to come to Miami when the league was an option. You know what I mean? Let's see, do a quick refresh on X, see if anything's jumping. Yep. Yep. Let's see. Nothing going on. Kellen Wiley was a big win. Kellen Wiley was a really big win. Did not think that was going to happen. So appreciate that coming through. Let's see what we got popping, man. Canes up. It's the reason FSU didn't fire Norvell. The buyout would be crazy. But they gave him that money. They gave him that money off of, what was it like? He's gone 3-9 in 2010 there. In year, you know what I mean? Like in 5 years. Like that's crazy. Like that's insane, fam. He had 2 solid years, You know what I'm saying? Shout out to their quarterback. But to go 3-9 and 2-10, that's nasty work. Like if Mario goes 4-8 next year, bro, hasta luego, champ. It was a pleasure having you here. Wish you all the best, but can't happen. Yeah, I disagree, LM. All right, let's talk about this, man. We got some time. Shout out to LM. I've been a fan of Miami since 1986. All right, I was born in '84, so congratulations. I would not let my child play for the University of Miami Hurricanes. No development. Completely disagree, and I'll tell you why. Who do you focus on that's not being developed? So you're not looking at a X, right? X that got developed. X was a 3-star wide receiver coming out. The jumps he's made under Kevin Beard have been otherworldly, right? Remember X the first 2 years always slipping when he shouldn't have, stays on his feet, catching everything. The man caught a ball on his backside. Let's see. You have CC Minoa, one of the best offensive linemen in the country. Came here as a true freshman. Markel Bell, first year in Power 5 or P4, played solid left tackle, struggled a little bit, but got better, right? And they trusted him enough to put him next to Jalen Rivers, even when Jalen Rivers came back. Let's see, OJ Frederic, a true freshman, came here in the summer, only had really one bad game all season, probably and likely a freshman All-American. Are there players that have struggled? 100%. Does every player develop at a high level and at the same rate? Absolutely not. There is development. It is tough. It is challenging, and you never know who those guys are going to be. Ryan Mack might have been solid on this team, but he got injured and didn't work. You know, and didn't work out this year. But he'll be back next year, hopefully healthy. Isaiah Thomas, a solid big time safety that'll likely move forward because he's too damn big to that linebacker position. You know what I'm saying? We'll see, because he had a broken leg last year, was recovering from that, which I'm hoping Amari Wallace, recovering from an injury, will be solid. You know what I mean? So there's depth. I guess I got stuck in the matrix. My fault, guys. Hopefully I'm back. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. Yeah, the defense was a challenge this year, LM. You're 100%, bro. The defense was 100% a challenge this year, and it's why we struggled in the games that we struggled in. And it was crazy. Like, it felt like sometimes all they needed to do was play a quarter of the game and just couldn't get that right. You know? Mario needs at least elite coaches behind him. He can trust to run the offense and defense at a very high level. Dawson got the job done this year, but let's see how he does with another QB. What if it is Emory? How y'all feeling in the chat? If it is Emory holding it down as your starter next year, what's your projection with this schedule? Notre Dame, Bethune-Cookman, USF, Florida, Florida State, Louisville, NC State, Stanford, Syracuse, Pitt, SMU, and Virginia Tech. And again, those last 3 in December are all on the road. So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 straight home games and those are all the ACC home games we have. And then you have Notre Dame. And the first 4 are crazy. The first 4 are all at home too. That's bananas. So you start the first 4 at home, then NC State, Stanford, Syracuse at home. How y'all feeling about that one if you start with Emory? Y'all let me know, man. Let's keep it a buck here. Y'all know how we do. Yeah, I can't disagree with you, Callie. Can't disagree with you at all, brother. Gotta let them boys ball. And LM, okay, but that's development, right? Like, Emory is that guy, 12-0. 12-0 next year? Okay. Let's see. Canes up says 8 wins. 8 wins is your floor. Obviously, Canes, we you know what I'm saying, we give y'all the liberty and the freedom to change your mind because the portal could be different. This portal starting on Monday, even though players are already jumping on, and in the spring window that's only open for 2 weeks. This one's open, I believe, for 28. Y'all let me know in the chat if that's correct or not, because I don't want to be clicking around. Make sure I'm locked in with y'all. But yeah, man, it's crazy right now. Let's see, 30 minutes till DJ Pickett probably signs with LSU, unless we make some last minute big time bid or lock it in. This is something that he'll never understand. Matt Shodell was right as always. Yeah, that's Matt Shodell be talking some truth on there, man. He does. Shout out to Kingsport, man. We got a 7-5 team in the state that we beat out recruiters. Y'all is the worst 10-2 I ever seen. Oh, okay. No, that's not. Well, you're not factoring in the money, but it is what it is. Let's see what it is. It's popping here. Yeah, that was gonna happen in the portal. Poff was out. Oh, my work email is going crazy. Alam says, I hope the defensive coordinator gonna jump in the portal. That's the crazy thing, right? Let's talk about that. So, because National Signing Day is from today till Friday, right? Oh no, I'm locked in. Let's go. First of all, that's very disrespectful that you put me in the saddest and most tiniest jersey, but I'd love that graphic. Please do send it to me. I will make that my Twitter picture, my X picture as soon as you send it to me, bro. That shit is hilarious. 100% hilarious, man. Shout out to Doom, man. Guy is sick with the photoshops. All right. So, because National Signing Day is from today until Friday, right? It's a 3-day. It's a 3-day event. Don't know why. Should just be one day. If you're in the conversation with defensive players and portal players, if you make the move on from your DC, if that's what you decide to do, when do you do it? Do you do it now, since you're not likely and completely out of the playoffs as a 12th ranked team, but not the at-large bid? Or do you wait until the portal is done and get the players that you want as the head coach and make it a square peg round hole? Or do you bring in a DC, which the thing is, I don't know how it's going to work in that building, but if you bring in a DC, do you allow him to bring all his own guys, which means maybe a new linebacker coach? If they'll interview and see if the vibe is right. Maybe a new linebacker coach, maybe a new D-line coach, maybe a new safeties coach. Like, how do you make all those changes, and when would you make all those changes? Yeah. Then I got stuck in the Matrix, family. My fault. Biz James says it's clearly the money. These recruits don't say they need to see Miami win to commit to 7-1 teams. Yeah, man, like, make their own decisions. It's business. It's gonna be what it is. Son of Boy Kane, another one. Son of Boy says, if so, after Will Mustang. I mean, I don't look for me. Right, my take. We haven't talked about this. For my take, I don't know how you stick with him. I don't know how you stick with Coach Guidry. No disrespect to him, but like, just options. Like, you bring him next year and the same struggles continue, to risk that, to say that, like, oh, it might be this player or that player, or you know what I'm saying, like, to risk the possibility of him giving you the same performance. It's why, for me, you have to move on, because next year's schedule is way harder. And it's tough, right? Because the thing is, like, I like Coach Guidry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big fan of him, but you have to make the decision now. Like, you have to make the decision now and move on and have maybe an acting DC for the bowl game, or hire somebody before that. But the slow step, like, for me, you have to make that decision and move on. Oh, shout out to Poe Kane, probably on his lunch. Recruiting is dead. Make an offer, then back of the Brinks truck the day before signing day. Thank you for quoting me. You are 100% correct. You see, these Bens know what they be talking about. You know what I'm saying? This is the only podcast with 2 Bens on it. My guy Poke knows what he's talking about, man. Yeah, it's the relationship building. Everything's different now. Next year is going to have to be adjustments, things that got learned this year very late in the process. But yeah, man, Poke, let me know. Let me know if anything happens. Just leave it in the chat, man, because I try to stay off my phone while we're doing this. LM says, do we really have the right players out there on our defense? I think players took a step back. That one specific player took a step back that we weren't expecting, breaking in 2 new safeties that looked good at the beginning. Just throughout the season, the consistency wasn't there, and that was my issue with it. You know what I mean? It was hard to watch sometimes, the confusion, the struggle, and it hurt us in recruiting. And that's, but you don't want to overreact to what one player says or one recruit says on an interview with a Florida show. You have to make this decision what's best for your program, not just the right decision and like a knee jerk reaction when it's in the moment. That can't happen. Hey man, there's a lot. Poke says no, we don't LM. We have placeholders. Yeah, there's guys that are there. Oh shit, Lincoln Riley, new head coach at UCF. Okay, that's a solid little hire. Appreciate that, Lakers all day. Man, this is crazy. It's Florida. Always recruit on the neighbor, buy out money, throw at recruits. Yep, that's exactly what they did. Yeah, it never looked right. But we've had the coaching versus players conversation, and it's the chicken or the egg sometimes with that. Canes versus Town on defense definitely down, but that don't explain some of the simple things like setting the edge and having D lineman. That's scheme. That defensive lineman wasn't. That defensive lineman didn't cover in the flats or in downfield coverage because he wanted to. You know what I mean? That was scheme all season long. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that's crazy. I ain't even gonna watch that. That's crazy. CB forgets that I'm live. Yeah, no, it's all good. So they're inquired. All right. So it's not happening yet. No, neither did I, brother. Neither did I, L. Neither did I. It wasn't a thing that I saw either. Just so many challenges, bro. All right, let's see. Still no commits. No new commits. No new commits. Josh Moore, SJ, Gerard Pringle, Hayden Lowe, Bryce Fitzgerald, Herbert Scroggins, Chris Ewald, Jabori Antoine, Brock Schott, Connor Wiley, Luke Nickel, Luke Gilbert, Max Buchanan. Half of the class is an early enrollee. I always like players to be here in January. Let's see here. Let's see. Forgot to. Don't. Just sent the link to a possible guest here jumping on here shortly. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, man. My bad, just smack the shit out of the mic. I never say that because why do you have a linebacker sticking these fast running backs on the field? No idea. So again, for me, it's why you make this decision. Says Lakers all day says we should have fired the DC after the VT game. But then who do you have as your acting DC? I don't think we have on staff a DC any coach with DC experience, right? Because then you go possibly into the rest of your ACC conference games with I want to say wet behind the ears because all defensive coaches, but you don't have anybody that has any DC experience and trying to figure it out. So that's probably why I want to do that, but why I would do that now. Let me see something real quick, family. Yeah, but I guess you could go with D-Nick and it's NICH. I guess you could go with D-Nick. Go get the Miami Central defensive coordinator. So you bring in a high school DC to be the D coordinator. Okay. Probably put him on staff and see what he got. But you never know. We'll see. Yeah, D-Nick would likely be because he's the co-DC, right, Pope? He's the co-DC now, so he would take over that role. And we see what we got. Probably be a very aggressive defense. D-Nick, just for his like hype tape and the way he gets the players fired up, I think they would run through walls for him. Poke's in the shots. That's my guy. Shout out to Poke, man. That's family right there. Yeah, so we still have. It's weird because it's a season that you thought we'd have better outlets because of what popped on throughout the season, but Miami had, had challenges and looked bad optically, and the game changed. The game, the game has changed. This NL shit is crazy. The money's crazy. The difference in recruiting is crazy, and it's just a different game now, man. It's just a different game now. Who y'all like? If anybody joining us, you know what I'm saying, brand new here, make sure y'all hit that like. You know what I'm saying, like, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Hour and 40 minutes in. Got a couple more guests jumping on here when they get some free time. But yeah, man, top 13 class in the country after a 10-2 season. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Yeah, still 13. Yeah, dropped to 13th. Notre Dame jumped us. So we went from 12th to 13th. Fantastic. Fantastic. Man, next year's going to be bananas, bro. Next year's going to be bananas. If y'all don't know, it's crazy. Hire Ed Reed, defensive coordinator. Again, no experience as a defensive coordinator. I need experience. It's weird, though. I'm going to keep it a buck. Thank you, LM. Appreciate you. It's challenging, though, because we had, before Guidry, we had a guy with like 50 years of the coordinator and defensive experience. And we got blown out the water by Middle Tennessee State. Right? And last year, 7-5. And we had a ton of injuries on the defensive line, but it looks like they're fighting. Right? It looks like they're fighting. It looks like they're in it. The defense is tough. And this year, the step back is just hard for me to understand, man. Like I don't understand why it happened. Most of this secondary, besides the safeties, had issues. But again, if we know Coach Guidry's defense, it runs through the safeties, and with that, the communication was the issue. So, you had two first year safeties in this starting safeties in this program. That's an issue. Like, how do you not make those adjustments? Right? Like, I know it's National Signing Day, but we talk about everything on the show, man. Everybody go Ed Reed. All right. Ed Reed's the consensus. So Vic Fangio is a dream. I refuse to believe Vic Fangio would want to come into college football as a elder statesman and do anything, have to deal with anything in recruiting and NIL. I can't imagine he'd want to do that at all. Eric, I can't see it, bro. Personally, I just can't see it. But yeah, so we just got dropped down. So we'll probably end up top 15 class. Unless something changes. How do they get the NIL money? Like the average NIL. Like if you go to On3, you have Texas number 1 at average of 214. Oregon has a higher, and look, these numbers are crazy. Oregon has 243K average NIL. Like who's letting people know what they got? I wouldn't let anybody know how much cash I'm getting, bro. Keeping it a buck. I wouldn't. You probably bring him on as an analyst. You know what I mean? Pay him, but again, would the money be the same? Would the money be the same on that? We never know. Raja MIA in the building. Appreciate you, man. Mario not moving on for Guidry. He is not as emotional as a fan base. Mario's not emotional at all. Mario's Coach Cristobal. I don't know him, so I can't be calling him by his first name. Coach Cristobal isn't as emotional, as irrational as us. Us as a fan base, we're fucking bananas, bro. We ready to fire everybody. I'm ready to bench every player sometimes. That's why I don't tweet throughout the game. And I'm always in the group chat. It says go get Nick Saban. D-Nick before any newbie. Yeah, I will promote D-Nick. And my worry was that Florida State will come calling, but Florida State has already hired a defensive coordinator. Man, hey, listen, do it. Drop it in the group chat. Not in the group chat, sorry, in the live chat. Who you would want on this? If Coach Cristobal makes a decision on coordinator, if he stays or if he doesn't, who you would like, and how would you feel going into next season? Obviously, very raw. We're 4 days removed from a bad loss. Who you would want to replace him, and if he stays, how would you feel going into next season? Because saying it out loud is not a fun experience at all whatsoever. All right, guys, going to take a little break. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all rocking with us because I am live and, you know what I'm saying, I'm a man and I have to, you know what I'm saying, I got to do some things real quick. Be right back, guys. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man. Had to take a little break real quick. Drinking coffee and water throughout the show is challenging, fam. You know what I mean? I'm a man that has a bladder. Says Paul Kane says, unfortunately, Guidry did enough last year to get somewhat of a bye for this year. That's just what it is. We don't want it, but that's what it's gonna be. Hopefully, you're wrong, sir. But I feel like he gets another opportunity, but with a very short leash. Anthony in the building. I'm still in the building, rocking with us, man. Appreciate y'all so much. Ham, it has, for the majority of my life, kind of sucked. Kind of, unfortunately, sucked. This year, it ended rough. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Empty the bladder, fam. Empty the bladder. You know what I'm saying? Says Ben, did DJ pick a sign with LSU? He signs in about 10 minutes, most likely to LSU, ain't. Most likely going to LSU. Is what it's looking like, man. It's not great right now. It's crazy. We'll see what happens, man. There's a lot of moving parts. Obviously, not the class we envisioned after the season we had, and it ended fucking terribly. Apologize if you are watching or listening this with your children in the room. Never a fun experience. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, man. So it's a fun time. Here. Joe should be joining me shortly, man. He had an amazing morning experience. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it on the show, get his take on what's going on. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking, man. Like, it's an hour and 50 minutes in, holding it down. Shout out to my brother Joe, man. He did this basically by himself last year because I couldn't get out work. And man, it's bananas. Let's see. Starflow says nothing will really change too much if D-Nick assumes a position rather than bringing in a brand new guy. Possibly, you never know, man. Like just because what we think we know when somebody gets promoted or elevated into a position, you never know exactly what their reaction is going to be. T. Durden says, pick it 3 p.m. announcement. We'll be right here, bro. We ain't going nowhere. We on till 5, baby. We're doing a marathon in this bitch. Boy, I wouldn't. It'd be more like this, right? If you're marathoning, it'd be like a slow run. It wouldn't be like a full-out sprint. That's just not. That would be crazy. Could you imagine just getting it? You know what I'm saying, on a full-out sprint for, was it 23 miles, right? I'm rambling at this point. How y'all feeling about the class, man? If you're brand new, man, got the numbers. You know what I'm saying, 43 people rocking with us right now. LM. From your thumbs to God's ears, bro. From your thumbs to God's ears. Please, I would like to see another one. Hey, man, this is going to sound fucked up. Drop in 2001. Drop in the chat how old you were on our last championship. And when and how did you fall in love with this university? I don't think we talk about that enough. Look, man, the season is what it is. It sucked at the end, right? 10-20 on the sneeze at. Has some amazing comebacks. Traveled across the country and came back from down 25. That's nothing to poo-poo, man. Nothing to shit on. Drop in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Let us know who you heard. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do hit that subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Check out the website, youheardpodcast.com. We got some merch for y'all. Got some new stuff coming up at the beginning of next year that myself and the squad will be cooking up. But yeah, man, it's been a minute. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Pokane says pick it at 3, but most likely sticking with LSU. That is everything we're hearing. That is 100%. Chris Kane was 16 and 01. How old was I? 01. I was 16. 84. Yeah, I was 16 and 01. Kane Gann says I was in 11th grade. 352. You by me, man. I want a 352 area code. You know what I'm saying? 26 in 2001. Yeah, man, it's been a minute, bro. We need another one. Another couple. I want to get to like 7 or 8, 9 or 10. I'll just keep pushing the numbers up. Gary G says 1979 when I used to watch Kelly and Schellenberger. Bro, you are yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy London G, man. Gonna leave him alone. Ham says Brian Kelly will get fired next. I thought Brian Kelly should have got fired the moment he did the fake accent. Immediately for me. I thought immediately should have been fired because that A is disrespectful and B is just fraudulence, bro. Like, fam, you're not country, you're not Southern. Like, don't. That's insulting, bro. Like that. That's why I don't like Drake. I don't like if you switch up how you gotta talk and how you gotta be around. Obviously, in professional settings, you're not gonna be cussing and shit like that, like how I do on this show. But changing accents is weird. It's a weird thing. Chris King says I started watching when I was 5. Yeah, I started watching when I was 11, 12. Yeah, crazy. Family Plan season 6 at the OB the late 80s. Been hooked ever since. Damn, that's so fire, bro. That's so fire. Being a Kings fan. Yeah, so I wasn't. Little quick backstory on me. I wasn't. Excuse me. I apologize. I wasn't born in this country, man. I was born in Panama. Came here in '89. Started listening to the Kings on the radio. Eventually got a TV and watched my first game on a Saturday when my mom goes, "You're old enough to stay home by yourself." And I turned on that little Magnavox, and it was locked in ever since. Locked in ever since the first moment I saw them running through the OB. It was a wrap. Didn't go to my first Canes game till after I came back from the military. In 07. Moved around a lot. Went to 07. Took my brother and my 2 cousins. Went to the OB. Sadly, never didn't get to see Miami win a game in person, which is fucked up. Till the Texas A&M game because kind of went sparingly after that. I was in the Army, fam. I was stationed in Hawaii for my time. You know what I'm saying? Did my 4, then finished my last 2 years as a member of the National Guard. All right, brother. Be safe, man. We'll talk, bro. We will talk. Hey, Starfly in the building. And Dano 28. Okay, so it's been a minute for a lot of us, man. It's been a minute for a lot of us. Yo, I can't thank y'all enough for rocking with us, man. We just, you know what I'm saying, we do our own kind of thing here. And doing this, yo, again, I'll say it. I'm gonna say it every hour on the hour, like weather and the time, man, on radio. I can't give Joey enough credit for holding this down last year by himself for 4.5 hours. It's bananas. He has some guests popping in. We'll have some. The links are sent out. We'll see, you know what I'm saying, when they can click in because my guys are driving around trying to make some things happen. You know what I'm saying? Try to get us information because we got some guys on the ground, as they say. But yeah, man. That's crazy. Let me see. Hey, brother, it was my pleasure, man. I got to live in Hawaii for 4 years, bro. So I was good money. I'll tell y'all a quick story. The first day I was in Hawaii, we did a tour of the island, which takes you like roughly an hour and 45 minutes to just do the outside the perimeter. The waves were so high that it would hit the road, and it was like probably 300-400 feet away. It would hit the road, and they were doing like a huge surf competition. I was like, I might die in this bitch. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'd never seen waves that high. It was an amazing time, man. Changed my life, made me the man I am today. I will never regret raising my right hand and serving this country. It was a great experience, man. I was 16 when I won our last night of benefits. It's 92. That's amazing, Stunner. That's amazing. Starflow was 15. Yeah, man, you see that? They're like, these are the ages that these young men now have not experienced, right? Like, they haven't experienced 15, 16. Some of us a little older, like Dano. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? You older now. You 28 then. That's not old, but those are the formative years of when you fall in love. Like, that stays with you forever, man. That nostalgia, that feeling you had when you first saw the Kings running through the smoke, running through the helmet, seeing the comeback against Louisville, seeing the comeback against Florida, the domination against Washington after they beat us the year before. Those are feelings that you never had, that some of these players have never had. Some of these kids, some of these young men, some of these kids that are now have never experienced, but they did get to see the comeback against Virginia Tech. They did get to see the comeback against Cal. Those are the moments that start rolling in and start making you fall in love with this program again, because some of these young men have never seen it, right, hadn't seen Miami win. They've seen 7-5, 5-7. I don't think we ever went 4-8. I don't think we ever lost. Have we lost more than 4 games? Can't think of off the top of my head. Or one less than 4 games in a season. So bad seasons are going to happen, man. So, like, you got to check the trajectory. Yes, today isn't ideal. There's still some names out there. There's one guy that I really want. I'm hoping that happens. But we'll see. Apologies, didn't want to chew in y'all ears. Cough drops was crazy, man. Talking for 2 hours is not an easy task. Hey, LA, my pleasure, brother. My pleasure, man. Hurricane Cowboy was 12. And Hurricane Cowboy has 2 young kids, making them grow up, having them grow up being Canes fans. All right, Chris King, let's run through it, man. It's time to run back through the class anyway. All right, as of right now, according to the On3 rankings, we have the 13th ranked recruiting class with an NIL average value of 120,000. Don't know how they get those numbers. We shall see. Never curious about tapping other people's pockets. All right, our highest committed and signed recruit is Joshua Moore out of West Broward. He is 6'4", 205 pounds, wide receiver, big time get. We held off Florida for that one. We got SJ, my favorite player in this class, is signed out of Bishop Gorman in Nevada, one of the best centers and best linemen in the country. Gerard Pringle, big time get out of the Tampa area, out of Armwood. Big time man. 5'10", 185, super speedster. Which then you start thinking, if you get a speedster there, does that mean another speedster is out? Because you got to start thinking numbers and performances, man. So we'll see what he got. Hayden Lowe from California, Bryce Fitzgerald, Herbert Scroggins, Chris Ewald. Herbert Scroggins out of Georgia, at military school, the Benedictine Military School in Georgia. Crazy reach. Reminds me a lot of a Justin Tuck. Kind of, you know what I'm saying, just with that reach, kind of that wingspan, kind of the player. A little bit shorter. Justin Tuck was like 6'5", 6'6". Herbert Scroggins 6'2". Maybe he'll grow a little bit, but I don't know if he's going to grow 4 more inches. Chris Ewald out of Hollywood. Also out of Chaminade Madonna. Jabori Antoine, an early enrollee out of Westgate. Big time corner. It was great to hold on to him, as there's always a potential the day of for things to happen, as you guys are seeing it now. Got Brock Schott, early enrollee out of Leo, Indiana, a 4-star tight end, 6'3", 215. Kellen Wiley, a player that we semi-held on to because he wasn't committed anywhere else, but there was rumors of possible move to Texas. You never know. Georgia could swoop in. Another one, a teammate of Gerard Pringle out of Armwood. Luke Nickel, QB1 of this class, currently leading his Milton Eagles through the Georgia playoffs. Just blew the shit out of a team. They were up. Last I saw, they were up like 42-14 at half last week. I don't even know what the score finished out at. Luka Gilbert, a big tight end at 6'7.5". Again, probably just 6'8". Just say that. 225 out of Cincinnati, Ohio. So we went to the Midwest for our two tight ends. Max Buchanan, early enrollee, so we'll be here in spring at a Seminole High School out of the Sanford area here in Central Florida area. Mari Wallace, possibly a future nickel. Plays safety currently at Central, recovering from a season-ending injury. Hopefully he'll be back. Last I saw, he is hitting up and strongly walking around. Dalen Upshaw from Phoenix City, Alabama, wide receiver, 5'11", 175. Ezekiel Marcelin out of Central, another early enrollee, as well as Dalen Upshaw. Dante Simpson, an undersized, quick off the line defensive lineman. Micah Newton, out of the Newberry, Gainesville area. Demetrius Campbell, the big time 6'8", 6'6", 300-pound offensive lineman. Jaden Wilkerson, and all those players are signed, and most of those are early enrollees. Malachi Tony has not signed, but yeah. So we'll see with that. That's who I got. That's what we got with that one. Chris Kane, appreciate you, man. Working my Kings fan. Damn, no, I can't turn back. Been a fan since '84. Yeah, man, I was born in '84, so we with it. Let's see. Recruiters don't flip Miami. Recruits don't flip to Miami. It's the reason why they went after to come to the U. Yeah, Mario typically holds on to his guys. There was a video that just came out of a commit that flipped. I'm not gonna play that shit, man. I don't do that. I don't do that half flipping stuff. Yeah, Poff is gone. Poff is gone about an hour ago. Probably not the last one either, Chris. If I'm keeping it a buck with you, man. Probably not the last one either. Cameron Bobby Pruitt. Cameron Bobby Pruitt is fast. Darius Hayes is fast. There's underclassmen that are fast that you're gonna get to see in the bowl game, which is likely going to be the Pop-Tarts Bowl at Camping World Stadium as of right now. So we shall see about that. Let's see here. But yeah, man, top 13 class in the country. LM, bro, Cameron Bobby Pruitt, a little bit, I don't want to say undersized because he's tall, but a little bit lighter, going to put some weight on. Cameron Bobby Pruitt is one of those guys. And yes, Ham, you are 100%, man. Appreciate y'all. Fam, Bobby Washington, if he sticks through, is fast. It's definitely fast. Yeah, we're at 13 right now. We're at 13. There's two guys in 10 minutes, I think, from what Poke said earlier in the chat. It looks like he will be TJ Alford. TJ Alford will be committing. He's been committed to Ohio State. Will be committing in about 10 minutes. See he sticks with his commitment, or maybe Miami does something that day. Yeah, we got a solid little class, man. Remember, top 3 last year, top 7 the year before. Maybe next year is when this 10-2 season, hopefully close out 11-2, leads to a big time class next year as we start as we adjust to the ever evolving NIL recruiting time and not just relationship building. It's a different game now. Let's see. They're going to have Miami Hurricanes playing. And the Pop-Tarts, I hate the name of it, bro. Because it sounds, let's keep it a buck. It just leads to jokes, right? Like, oh, y'all thought y'all were something, then you ended up at the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like, oh, but Pop-Tarts Bowl. Enjoy that. And everybody that's going to the league is probably going to opt out of the bowl game. So going to be playing a bunch of young guys. And if you finish the season 10-3, recruiting class doesn't, you know what I'm saying, the optics look bad, and the negative recruiting is bananas. California Kane says, I have been a fan since 1983. I have been through all the highs and lows of my beloved Hurricane team. I was hoping this year was the year that we would end all the frustration of past years and win the ACC. Yeah, I thought we'd at least have a chance to play in the ACC. Well, we did have a chance to play in the ACC championship, but kind of didn't work out, and that's to quote Bruce Almighty, that's the way the cookie crumbled. Just couldn't hold on, couldn't make it stop when needed in our final game of the season. Again, against a team that is unranked, but a really good Syracuse team. Got to give them credit where credit is due. So it is what it is with that, man. Oh, man, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't care about the bowl. Just win. Also, 11-2, like, nobody's going to care what bowl you played in. You go, look, we won 11-2 last year. Like, imagine the recruiting pitch, right? Coach Cristobal's already a monster with it. If he goes, look, regardless of the bowl game, we won a bowl game, 11-2, third place in the ACC. With you, we could be, you walk into a young man's living room. With you can make the difference. And then here's how much we're going to pay you in an NIL. And then when other teams go, this is how much, and then you just, on signing day, beat all of them. It's the business we're in. That's the business we're in. We haven't won. We've never won the ACC. We've been in one ACC championship game. You know what I mean? Let's see. Scale of 1 to 10. How upset were you? So I'm gonna keep it a bug with you, Hurricane Cowboy. Also, fucking great name. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the live thing because I had a feeling we were gonna get screwed over. Right? Not screwed over because you have the chance to fortify and stabilize your place. Because what was it? If you beat Syracuse, you're basically locked into the playoffs. But once you gave Alabama the opportunity to jump you for whatever reason or whatever argument they wanted to make, I knew it was going to happen. So I wasn't surprised at the fact that we got dropped. I was furious at the explanation because it didn't make sense. Right? Like I don't like arguments when you pick and choose what strengthens it without the entirety of the context, right? When he goes, well, Miami lost their last game, and basically award man goes, well, Miami lost their last game and Alabama won. That's why they're in. Alabama lost to 2-6-6 teams and got clapped by Oklahoma that doesn't have an offense. They lost by 21. But I was pissed, bro. I was not scale of 1 to 10. That I wasn't surprised at the ranking. I was on a 11 when they gave the example, when they gave the reason as to why, because that just pissed me off. Like that's just bullshit. It was all. We'll see. My brother, hey yo, on the
Going
mobile.
down, man. How y'all doing, man? What's going on? You holding it down?
Hey man, I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to carry the torch that you lit last year, my brother. You did this for 16 hours straight with no sleep.
Something?
You know what I mean?
Trying to do a little something.
Trying to do a little something,
Yeah, man. We on the way back.
How'd it go, man?
It was good, you know. Good. Get to see a little something. Talk to coaches. You know how it goes.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. How you feeling, man? Right now, we're the top 13 class. You know what I'm saying? Lost a couple players, picked up a couple players. How you feeling about it right now, as it stands?
Man, you know, I'm cool, man. I would like a couple of surprises, you know.
Yep.
But Kellen Wiley was a surprise, and he's going to be a problem. So I'm definitely happy with that surprise. You know, I hope to pull one or two more, but as we stand now, I think Coach Cristobal did a good job of keeping people intact, keeping some players intact, man. Dylan Upshaw was a big one to me. Gerard Pringle, big one. Josh Moore, you know, that's a big one, man. You know, so you know, he kept some intact, man, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, man. So I think 215 from the chat let me know 215 TJ offered possibly likely signs with Ohio State. Who knows what was trending with that. And at 3 p.m. DJ Pickett, from all accounts, all reports, everything in the chat and anything we've been reading, likely signs with LSU. Are those the two guys that you're thinking about, or is there other names that you're possibly hearing? You know what I'm saying? That you're feeling might get flipped.
Definitely those two. Couple of D tackles that, you know, we're waiting to hear from. Jarquez Carter being one of them.
Yep.
You know, that can go either way. But I know there's one more that's being worked on. Not at liberty to say who, but there's one more.
We don't disclose till it pops. That's not how we work. That's not our show. I feel you.
Yeah, and I feel like there may be a couple more surprises that, you know, that's not on anybody's radar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you on that.
You know how he does.
So, yeah, he mad right now. He's got to be mad right now. He's like, oh, y'all think it's a game with me? Okay. I've been watching y'all live streams. I see what y'all talking about. I see the comments. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I know you driving. Before we let you go and you transfer to the laptop when you get to the crib, how you feeling what was your reaction last night with the CFP stuff with the committee? Not so much the ranking because we kind of felt that, but the reason that Warden Manuel gave for why they picked Bama.
Expected. You know, I didn't expect anything less. I didn't expect anything different. We're in a SEC and Big Ten world. You know what I mean? College football is the SECs and Big Tens. It's their world. They own college football. So they get what they want, man. So Miami had every opportunity to make it, you know, not a question. And they didn't do it. So that's what happens, man.
Yeah. What I've been saying earlier, I know you've been busy all morning, was I wouldn't have been as upset if it was South Carolina, because South Carolina has a chance to actually change their resume if Clemson wins on Saturday, because then they would have defeated an ACC conference champion. So that one I would have been mad at. But Ole Miss and all these just crying to me. But I wasn't surprised when I saw Bama. I just would have been like, I would have been cool with Warren Manning going like, look, man, it's Bama, the SEC. What the fuck you want us to do? What you think we were gonna do? You thought it was gonna be something else?
For him to say that nobody else can change their standing, that's not playing, that's wild to me. You know, that's wild.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just what it is, man. It's politics, man. It's just like the politics, the political system in this country. You know, it's all money and high dollar shit and, you know, biases and all of that. So
nah, facts, man. 100%. That's the part that was crazy to me. Was like, so like large bids are locked in. Like I was like, they can't do anything else. Like, yes, they can. South Carolina's resume can change Saturday, fam. Like, what are you talking about? It was crazy. It's crazy, man.
But I know they did say they're not punishing conference championship losers. They're not punishing them. So
you breaking up, Joey? Frozen, fam. You stuck in the Matrix. This is what it's like for you when we're live. Yo. Get him back in a minute. I'll have him jump back on once he starts moving in the off screen. He's driving, so you know there's gonna be inconsistent coverage.